Hey guys, Chance Williams here. So today I've got a truck in the shop in here, and make it full screen so y'all can see what I'm doing. Um, so I got a 2010 F150 sitting here, and it's a wonderful car when it's running. But a lot of you guys know that these things end up with a lot of timing chain issues. So the timing chain issues on these are vital when you're going to buy the right parts for them. So to be completely honest with you, this is another shop that reached out to me and said, "Hey, we installed all these timing components on this vehicle. There's something wrong with it. It's still the same thing." So I got it, and the first startup, I actually towed it in here myself and went and picked it up. And this thing's got a lot of chain noise to it, and I found out that you should never do it. But the shop told the guy to go buy the parts, and he did. There's no justice in anything like that. And this is a 10 or 12 hour job, so it can turn out to be a nightmare if you don't buy the right parts. And now they've got a nightmare. The shop really don't care. The shop just, hey, I installed what the guy wanted. We just want to make sure that it's nothing that we did. And then of course I have a talk with the shop. I'm like, look, guys, you you just don't do this. You don't allow people to bring you parts because you could eventually, if they're smart enough and savvy enough, they can probably say you broke their parts. When in reality, they bought these parts off of Amazon or someplace China made. Let me turn the key on here and give y'all some ideas. Give me just a minute. Key's already on. So we're going to turn around here. And the first, there's a big thing going on with TikTok. I'm going to try to make this a 10-minute video, but it's not going to be a 10-minute video. I'm just about guarantee you that. But the first step of diagnostics is checking trouble codes, correct? Is that right? That is one of the very first things that an automotive technician will actually do is check diagnostic trouble codes. So let's zoom in here and see if I can get y'all a little. I don't have a cameraman, so y'all bear with me. So we're going to do a fault scan on this thing. And we're using an Altel Elite. My Snap-on Zeus, I actually broke the screen on it. It kind of sucks for me. But for you out there it's not familiar with the Altel. Altel is really a great piece of equipment. I find it very useful in a lot of different areas. So I have multiple pieces of equipment because sometimes I'll find something that doesn't work in the Altel and I'll jump over to Snap-on or my other Snap-on, or either I'll get the factory stuff out one way or the other. Factory stuff sometimes is a little bit of a hassle. But anyway, we got multiple codes in here, so we're going to do a report on this and we're going to take a look. So see what codes we have. All right, so we got a camshaft position timing over retarded bank 1 and bank 2. We also got a camshaft position sensor circuit out of range performance, bank 1, and it also says a signal sensor. And then we have the same code. So we got the 341, 346, PO22, PO12. We also have a generator field circuit control issue. So there may be an issue with his alternator, but that's what's pretty much there. So the step in diagnostic in the diagnostic trouble tree, of course, you got vision camera and tire pressure sensor, which we don't really care about that. So one of the steps in the diagnostics on these things is purchasing a piece of equipment like this in order to diagnose these newer model cars. Because it ain't like the old style. You can go out there and pop the distributor cap off, take the crankshaft, rock it back and forth a couple of times, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, your chain's worn out, need a new chain. It's nothing like that. These are all computer operated. So we're going to jump over to our scope, and that's going to take me just a minute to set this thing up. So I'm going to fire this truck up, and we're going to get this thing set up. I'm going to see if I can set it up like this. Now, one of the cool things about this is um, you can use anything that you want, but I highly recommend back probing pins. Altel did a really good job of giving you plenty of cable and a really good set of leads and stuff like that to back pin. The problem with back pinning though, you can't shove that thing in there. You can cross over to the other terminal and then end up shorting things out. Sometimes cost yourself a lot of money. But anyway, let's hit. Let's turn this other channel on. But first, we're going to set this up I'm gonna go 50. All right, I think I was at 50 before. And we're gonna do this one at 50. And we're gonna turn our channel 2 on. Come on, turn it on. Channel 2, there we go. I had both of them on. All right, and then we're gonna set up a division. It's like 100 milliseconds for both. All right, then we're going to set up this right here with a filter, both of these, and hit yes. And try to get this thing set up a little bit better. You can play with your scope if you're not used to it. Let me get this car started. When I had this truck in here yesterday, it was scary. It was super scary. So this is definitely not set up right. So it's going to take me a minute to get to where I need to get to, I believe, on this right here. That's Windows. It's DC, like it's supposed to be. Turn this over here. My scope is acting really strange. It was working great a while ago. So I got the 2 channels on there. Divisions, DC. Let's go to 100 millivolts on this one. Oh, excuse me, I know what I'm doing. I'm sorry. This scope is still new to me. I'm going to 10 volts, 10 volt scale, 10 volt scale. And so this is kind of, I had hit the wrong button. I'm really more used to my snap-on scanner, but I just recently started using, let me turn this channel off. I just recently started using this Autel, and I like it. It's pretty nice. Now, what you're looking at right now is the camshaft sensors. Really, truly, all you got to do to find out whether you got the right timing set up on this or not is just basically find your signal into the processor, back here set through the connector on both sides. Now, what you want to see is something like this. You'll want to overlay them, and you can find out that looks really good. So we're going to hit the pause button right there, and we're going to expand on this, I believe. Yep, we can expand on this. Once you expand on it, you can see right here clearly that these look pretty much in time. Now, that's a good thing. So if you end up having one way off the channel, then you know that's out of time. That's pretty much how that goes. So one thing I'm fixing to do is going to scare me the bejesus out of me, because yesterday, I'm telling you, this thing literally jumped 60 degrees positive, and the truck stalled on me. So the phasers are sticking in it. The parts that he bought are junk as far as I'm concerned. If this truck sits here a little while, it will crank up and rattle like no tomorrow. So this is an actual known good waveform right here of camshaft timing. But I'm not going to promise you I'm going to get it to go out of time. We're fixing to see if we can get that thing to come out of time. All right, so right now that looks pretty good. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to pull this down so you can see what's happening. See that? Now y'all look at the pattern on this thing. That right there is nothing like it's supposed to be in time. So if you ever run across anything like this in particular, you got problems. And y'all hear that thing right there, right now? Let me back this thing out. That engine, the phasers are sticking on it, and it's horrible. It's ugly. So right now, I just really want to shut it off before it causes. So pretty much, this is it in a nutshell. When you're running across a job that pays as much money as these pay right here, guys, y'all got to buy the right parts. Y'all do not allow all your automotive repair shops never allow anybody to buy you parts and bring them in. Because if not, you got to believe in the parts that you're buying are good. And if you don't do it. But if you're going to allow somebody else to buy the parts and bring them into you, I'm sorry. Then that's all on y'all. Well, this is pretty much just a recapture recording of the actual cam timing the way it's supposed to be, and when you buy cheap Chinese parts and install. So until then, next time, all I can say is take care.